So I'm getting these peaches peeled up here. I'm using a peeler because I tried blanching them, and these peaches just ain't working so well with it. As I say that, with my peeler not working well either. Anyhow, I could do it with a knife, but I feel like I waste more that way. So I'm peeling peaches here, and then when I get a mess peeled up, we'll make them up into pie filling for like peach fry pies and stuff like that. They're delicious. Very, very good. So anyhow, as you can see, I'm slowly peeling this peach. But the peeler, with the peeler here, like I said, it don't waste a whole lot. If I did it with a knife, I waste a lot more, but I get done faster. So, waste no, want none. Here we go, peeling slow. Okay, so the soft peaches here makes the better fry pies. You don't want to use the real firm ones that you'll use for canning and stuff. See how I'm just kind of removing the pit out of it? Very easy done. And then I don't know where to put the pit because everything's a wreck. It's a lot to do peaches. Anyhow, you got this here crunchy side in here. So just kind of use a spoon. Scrape that out best I can. That way it's all just peach and not woody type stuff here. Anyhow, cut that stuff out best I can. While y'all be listening to some Bonanza in the background. Okay. Anyhow, and for the fry pies, I need them to be smaller pieces. So it's gonna be easy enough to do with. Anyhow, there you go. Smash them up. Cut them little. I need about a cup's worth of peaches, cup and a half-ish, depending on how sweet you want them to be. But use these here soft ones. Anyhow. That's how you do it right there. That's it. Just get all the soft peaches cut up here. Okay, so here's the peaches where I was cutting them up yesterday. Now I did get a little lazy because I was getting a little tired of them. Anyhow, it takes 6 to 8 ounces to do this per one batch of pie filling for the peach fry pies. So I'm going to do like triple it up and do like 3 batches at a time. Maybe 4. Anyhow, so it's 1 cup of this. And it's enough water to help cover them so that you can cook them down and get them soft without scorching them up. So let's say 4. There we go, they're on in there. And then a little bit of water, and then we're just gonna cook them until they get good and soft. Now, where they did sit overnight, they are in their own juices kind of deal. So I don't have to put as much water in there. So I'll just stir and mash. And again, I use the softer peaches for the most part to get it good up done, because you know you don't want to can the soft peaches in your regular peach canning. So I'm just gonna cook them here till they get good and soft, and we'll take her from there. Okay, so I put 10 cups in here because I decided I ain't gonna take all night doing this. So it is just gonna cook it down, get it soft, work out some of this juices, and then I'll add the sugar in. about 1.5 cups of sugar for every 1 cup of peaches, which sounds awful to me for the recipe that I have here. So I'm probably just going to start with adding 1 cup of sugar per 1 cup of peaches, and we'll taste it before we decide if that's where we're ending, because wow, that's a lot of sugar. Okay, so it's cooked, it's soft. Now it's time to add sugar. I'm really freaking out about adding 10 cups even, so we're just kind of going to play with it, get it to taste, because the point of this is to still taste the peach. So we're just going to taste test as it's cooking. It's got to cook 15 more minutes after I add the sugar, and that's not like I gotta stir it. So that's 3 cups. This is essentially like a fruit puree type deal. 4. We're gonna start with 5. That's a half a cup per thing. That seems like a lot to me, so we'll go there. If we need more, we'll add it. But otherwise, this is a 15-minute cook now, and then it don't matter the size of the jars. It's still a 15-minute water bath after I get the puree in the jars, or the pie filling, or whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it pie filling. It just sounds yummier that way. Anyhow, with that, you got your jar here. You see this line here, because we're going to leave about probably close to 1 inch of headspace. So first line down, you know, you got your 1/8 quarter, you get down here and you're about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to probably fill it to about this here point on the jar. That way, that will make it almost 1 inch, around about 1 inch of headspace, because that's nothing but this going in. So with that, and they need to be hot jars into a hot water bath canner. So the simple thing to do is keep your jars in the oven and have your water bath canner going. I do have other jars in there going, so it's been going that way. But anyhow, 15 minutes, constant stirring, and then we'll get them in the jars after I taste it. Okay, so I just taste tested it, and 5 cups, perfect. I can taste the peaches, they're delicious. And honestly, it is a really pretty pan of stuff happening up in here. Looks delicious. So this should make for some right good fry pies. And we will do a video on those later. Right now we're just going to can up a bunch of it because I still got a mess to go. Okay, so 15 minutes is about up. So I got my funnel on top of my jar here. That will keep it from making messes and keeping the jar from getting all sorts of sticky and stuff, so that it will can easier. So I'm literally just going to fill these jars up with the puree here, the pureed deliciousness. Okay, that might be a bit much. Nope, pretty good. There you go, just like so. Again, these are hot jars going into a hot canner from hot stuff being added. So I'm gonna get these all filled up and we'll get them placed into the canner. Okay, so I got 6 pints and then a 1/2 pint. So anyhow, next step is to take and wipe your rims really, really well. This keeps everything off of the top of it. If it's got any kind of debris or anything on it, food, stickiness, whatever. It's not debris because it's food, but anyhow, if it's got anything on the top of it, it will prevent it from sealing, and then all of this is for nothing. I mean, you could eat it immediately, but make sure you wipe your rims. Once they're all wiped up, make sure you do, get them all good. But once they're wiped up, then you just take and place your flats on there, or your lids, as you want, whatever you call them. This is hard to do one-handed, but these are my lids here. They're regular mouth lid. You can use any different brand, but the lids here, get a hold of it, my handwork. You can see the rubber compound. That's what's going to get and seal at the jar. So, and this is, mind you, a canner load. So let's see. We'll get all these on there, and then you get your band on, and it's finger tight just right. So let's get that on. Okay, so remember, the jars are hot, the filling is hot, So get a towel or whatever, put your band on there, and then you tighten it up, and then it goes from here to the canner. Okay, and then I've got the jar lifter here. That's what I'm gonna pick the jars up with again. Handle, it's plastic, it's rolly, it's not grippy. And this here's your rubber grippy end. It just gets right a hold of the jar like so. Picks it up underneath that there lip, directly into the hot canner. Now there is a rack down here. You can kind of see it. You have to keep the jars on a rack, on rings, on rags, something. Don't put them directly on the bottom because it can shatter your jars. So, and you need to make sure the water is over top of your jars, and then it's a 15-minute timer after I get them all filled. Okay, so you can see the jars are in here. It's a full bath, full canner, whatever. It's boiling, so we're going to set the timer for 15 minutes. We're going to put the lid on it, that way we ensure it's a rolling boil. When it's done, we'll take them out and set them, and that's it. That's how you're doing it. Okay, time is up. It's been the 15 minutes. Get these jars out. Again, using your jar lifter. Reach down into the water, pick the jar up. There'll be water on top, and then you move it to where it goes. And we'll get them all out and pop them over here. Alright, all the jars are out. Setting them on the counter here on top of towels. The towels help absorb any kind of shock with the temperature changes. Anybody who's done it remembers that something hot touches something cold and wet, you will shatter. So this is just to prevent that from happening, and it just allows the jars to cool. So there they are. Even they got space in between them to allow for airflow to help cool them down. We're just waiting on the ping now to prove that they're sealed. But that is peach pie filling.